the new rock album review show. Welcome to my panel to Cully, to Trish, and to Simon. Unfortunately, Will and Ian can't join us today. If you're new to the show, we listen to the new rock albums, rate them out of 5. Will they get into our Hall of Fame? Will they get into our Album of the Year show? Today is a big one because today sees the return of Visions of Atlantis and their album Pirates 2 Armada. Visions of Atlantis, a symphonic power metal band from Styria, founded in 2000. Inspiration came from both successful Finnish symphonic metal band Nightwish and the myth of Atlantis, as well as a pirate theme in recent albums. Fascinated by the myth of Atlantis, Werner Fiedler, Thomas Kasser, Christian Stani, and Chris Kamper decided in August 2000 to work out a concept inspired by the secret of Atlantis. Later in the summer, mezzo-soprano Nicole Bogner joined the project, and this was the birth of Visions of Atlantis. At first, Morning of Atlantis released in 2000. 2001, they signed with TTS Media, and 2002, their first album, Endless Eternity Infinity, was released. The band released their 7th studio album, Wanderers, on the 3rd. Now, I'm going to say this because it's quite an important change, because Clémentine Delauney joined in, about 2013. But in 2019 with Wanderers, the album again featured Clémentine and Michele Guaitoli sharing lead vocal duties, which I think maybe potentially was that turning point because those two did. Now let's be very clear. Visions of Atlantis and their album Pirates scored 4.4. It's our 13th favourite all-time album, whatever. But it won the biggest accolade that we can give it. It won in 2022 MPJ Album of the Year. So no pressure, no pressure at all. And we've all been to see them in concert. Well, I don't think Chris wasn't with us. Was you with us, Chris? Were you there? No, yeah.
No, I wasn't.
We saw.
I want to be.
And for me, it was my second favourite. Anyway, so let's find out. What we thought of them then. Starting with Trish. Then Trish.
Oh, okay. So this album has a lot to live up to after the massive success of Pirates, which I love every song on that album. So would this succeed and continue this legacy? It starts off in a dramatic eeriness with To Those Who Choose to Fight. 3rd track in, oh yes, that's what I'm talking about. The Visions of Atlantis I love, with an anthemic song, Monsters. Then the beginning of Tonight I'm Alive literally had me dancing in my chair. Before I knew it, the album was over. But I did feel it didn't end on a high as it had begun, which was disappointing. But still a bloody brilliant album. But it didn't reach the pinnacle of the Pirates' first album. It was close, but no cigar. Or should that be rum?
Simon.
Wow. A 2-minute intro track is a brave choice. But guess what? It actually plays into the first track, The Land of the Free. What a shocker! An intro track that actually serves a purpose on an album. But I expect nothing less but majesty from the Visions of Atlantis. We're treated to her beautiful voice from the off. And then the rest of the band kicks in, and I feel like I'm home in the Land of the Free. I normally try to highlight a select few tracks to talk about during these reviews, but I've struggled so hard to narrow it down for this album because just every track is amazing in its own regards. I'll limit myself. I'll sing the praises of Hellfire, really catchy chorus, love that one. Tonight I'm Alive, it's got that sort of almost upbeat dancey tune to it. Collide for that choral singing. Magic of the Night is fantastic. And the ending track where the sky and ocean blend. Oh, what a track, I love it. I've had it on repeat every day since hearing it. It's such a beautiful song. I can't praise this album highly enough. Visions has absolutely blown it out of the water. This is a masterpiece of metal, and there are not enough words for me to describe how much I love this album.
Sam, if I could marry you, I would. Chris, let's. What did you think of Visions? So you, we teased you into the first album because we know you like a bit of Pirates. You weren't around at the time when we reviewed the first one. So, Obviously, I had to get you because of your supposed love of pirates. Was it your cup of tea?
So there is a real weight of expectation on Visions of Atlantis for this one because of these guys hyping up pirates like you wouldn't believe, especially Nigel when he said, "No, you have to listen to it. You have to listen to it," and that was only a few months ago, which might be part of the problem. So I've got Pirates, the first album, in my head already before we start. Especially the hero track of that album, as far as I'm concerned, is Clocks. It's brilliant. The entire album for Pirates 2 Armada is in the same vein, the same level, and therefore the same plateau as Pirates. It is brilliant. But when I got to the end of Armada, I went back and listened to Pirates again, and I listened to both of them together, and that's how I listen to it now. So when I finished Pirates, I went back and started at the beginning. I finished Armada, I went back to Pirates and started at the beginning. That's not to say it's a bad thing, but it's just, it feels like a sequel. And at that point, unfortunately, with a sequel, you have to go a bit extra to beat the original. And I don't think they have, unfortunately. There are some brilliant songs, as I said. I really rate Collide, Hellfire, as has been mentioned. Armada, the thing I didn't like about Armada, the title track, there's a little bit too much cheese in there in terms of the pirate side of things. They start mentioning scurvy dogs. And you've got people chanting for the Jolly Roger, which is great, but it's went a little bit too far. The rest of the song, though, brought it all back. It's absolutely phenomenal guitar work, brilliant vocals and everything else. It really fits nicely together. But it didn't peak over Pirates, I'm afraid, and so that's reflected in my score.
I could be walking that plank. You could be walking that plank. The thing is that the difference between the two albums kind of grows on you because with the first one there are certain hero tracks that kind of stand out, and there are incredibly immersive stuff like Master of the Hurricane and that sort of stuff as well. And there are certain tracks like Master of the Hurricane which is more reflective in this album. It's a much more immersive album than the first one. And Monsters, Tonight I'm Alive, and oh my god, if you cannot sit there and almost Ashes to the Sea to bring maybe even a tear to your eye, if you really listen to those lyrics, is just phenomenal. It really is. And Hellfire is just a stupendous kind of rousing song. Yeah, I kind of get it. I think the fact that they were going to battle and there's the battle cry was Jolly Roger, which is why they're there. If you listen to why they're singing Jolly Roger, because they're about to go into battle, it's just, oh my god, this album is just, it literally, and I understand you literally, and it's meant to be. It is a continuation of that first album, but it's more immersive. It takes itself maybe a tiny bit more seriously, and it could literally be a double album, an absolute double album from that side of things. So, yeah, I think it's just a masterpiece, and I'm absolutely, because it's our biggest show of the year. It's our biggest show of the year in October when they're in London, and I am devastated. I'm absolutely gutted that I'm not going to be there because I watched David Lee Roth in the '80s, which is my all-time favorite album, and the album, the concert I saw earlier this year or last year was just up there. It was just brilliant. I adore this band, and this album is absolutely phenomenally fantastic. It's slightly different, more immersive, as I say, but it's been on my repeat play constantly. But yeah, absolutely loved it. So, will it get into our Hall of Fame? Will it get into our Album of the Year show? Let's find out then, shall we? No surprise. I'm going to kick off with Will because I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to give the game away. He gave it a 5. Of course, William, but he didn't. William did not give it a 5. William gave it a 4.5.
What?
He did.
That's shocked me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Simon.
5.
Cully.
4.
Trish. So you're
4.5.
4.5. Obviously a 5 from me. Simon, we got to get that plank ready, mate. We got to get that plank. There's 3 people walking the plank, damn them. However, it's still got 4.6. It's 23 out of 5. It is. It's not our all-time favorite album. It's 6th in our all-time favorite album list. It got more than the first one. So overall, but that's because we had that scurvy dog Paul on the last review. It is currently 3rd on our all-time on our albums of the year show. So one detects though that maybe it might not be able to defend its album of the year, or will it? It's certainly going to be in our album of the year list, but let's find out. Okay, in the meantime, thank you very much. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What did you think of Visions of Atlantis? Please like and subscribe if you like the format of the show. And thank you very much to my wonderful panel, to Simon, to Chris, and to Trish. Okay, bye, gang. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.